When the bombs fell, it seemed as though the world had ended. Every day the rain pours on the lifeless decay that the nuclear blasts left behind. What once was a beautiful home now lays forgotten in a dead suburb near Boston. Despite the grim surface, the underground has shown signs of life. In the backyard of this wrecked house, a bunker awaits. Within this bunker we can see a carefully maintained home belonging to one Caleb Whitman. Caleb is a survivor of the nuclear war who built this bunker long before the bombs were even speculated to drop. He spent years preparing it, and despite being called a paranoid lunatic, he carried on with the construction of his fortified hole. The very first thing he implemented was a functioning set of tools that would enable him to repair and upgrade not only the bunker, but weapons and survival gear as necessary. The tools range from wrenches, hammers and saws to glue, acid and many others. Caleb has always been a patriot, and these posters reminded him of why he had to do what he did every time he climbed out into the dangerous wasteland. His storage shelf contains water, ammo, and additional weapons that he needed to keep himself alive. The top right white bags hold the decapitated heads of the 3 messengers sent by the gods. Caleb spent a lot of time eating because the curse kept his metabolism from slowing down, so he ate a large amount of sugar bombs every day. Special tea with radioactive herbs helped him deal with it as well. The top cabinets are filled with sugar bombs to the point where it is difficult to open the door and not have them fall on top of your head. This incredible need for food also forced him to visit the bathroom very often. He needed to use the plunger several times a day, and sometimes even the green mop due to the explosiveness of his sugary excrement. The first aid kit allowed him not to suffer through this process too much, especially if he forgot to prepare another cup of tea. The ventilation system he implemented did not take into account the problem that he had, which resulted with very low oxygen levels almost all the time. Showering was an absolute necessity after this activity, and the only thing he could use was soap. It rarely did the job, so he used the leaves of the nearby plant to cover up the smell that kept emitting off of him. The nearby scale was something he used daily to make sure the curse wasn't killing him. The blood bag and vials were needed to test his health and make sure that his veins weren't being killed as well. The posters on this wall are contradictory for unknown reasons. He knew the gods would find him if he spent too much time outside, so his scavenging adventures were brief and often very reckless. The bed he slept on was always tidy, and his casual outfit had to be on the bed at all times to remind him of the days before the end. The pictures on the wall are of his brother, his family, and one of their final days in the old world. They all died shortly before the bombs fell. He killed them all during a backyard picnic and buried their bodies right next to this bunker. The terminal that he placed near the window blue-screened one day, which triggered the return of sanity to his mind. He recorded his final tape and took a look at his favorite magazine one last time and decided to end it. He contemplated about visiting the corner with his brother's military equipment and use it to end himself, but he decided against it as the memory of his brother was too strong and the small shopping basket with the gas masks smelled really bad. Before the end, he spent a moment thinking of his diploma and the school that he went to. Freedom to walk anywhere, learn anything, and laugh is something he started missing more and more with each new thought. The Nuka-Cola shelf contained 2 bottles of toxic Nuka quartz that he kept in case the toilet got out of control. He took them and drank both without any hesitation. Meet Caleb Whitman, a faceless man cursed for all eternity as a featureless statue surrounded by the remnants of his past life. Plagued by delusions, paranoia, and nightmares conjured by his mind, Caleb lived his life as a hermit, never realizing that he killed his family and kept their heads on his storage shelf, up until the last moment. The destruction that came to the world was a mere coincidence that accelerated the deterioration of his mind and allowed him to create a false world to live in. Such a lowly human being can never notice the presence of the gods or their messengers, and for that he was punished. Death would have been too kind, so the gods did what they do best. They cleared his mind of all delusions, cursed him for real by trapping him in a statue, and left him to rot forever under the house he once called home. This was the first and test attempt at a new series called Alternative Lore, where I will either take a game location or a modded location and create a completely fabricated story about it. This will be done in any game that fits the format, but since Fallout 4 is my most popular game, I'll focus on that first. Since this type of video takes a lot of time to make and lasts only a few minutes, that results with quite low revenue, even if the views are very good. Your support over Patreon would be much appreciated if you wish for me to make this a regular series. Otherwise, I will need to start playing Roblox. Do you really want me to start playing Roblox? Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the story of Caleb Whitman. If you have any suggestions for future alternative lore locations, please let me know in the comments. I have been Petard, your glorious lord, and may the blessings of Petardia eternally touch your butt.